Well, good afternoon, everybody who is in trucking, my power girls in safety, my pro dispatchers, and of course, pro drivers. What's going on? Well, everybody is talking about breaking news. And we have some trucking gurus who's making sure that they spread those news so fast and they want to make you excited. So, what's going on in trucking? Well, let's go back. That new administration is trying to help trucking industry. Well, why? Well, first, our president was getting lots and lots of votes from truckers, right? Make trucking great again. So, I guess he owes all of us. But let's see what's going on. So, what is all this beef about? And is it already in force? Is it gonna take time? Or what do we have to learn from this news? Well, let's go to the official sources. You guys know it's not about Google that shit or Chat GPT, but it's going to official source. As I am teaching you to become a pro dispatcher, to become a pro safety manager, you have to always go to official sites, right? Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. It's always so easy. You go to this little search window, and even if you do not know the rule, you can start putting HOS, what is new, or something about new pilot programs. And guys, remember, pilot means something new. So it's gonna take time, but we're gonna look into it because some of you, when you translate to your native language, well, you think it's about pilots. Well, it has nothing to do with pilots. So let's see. Well, on Monday, September 15th, 2025, Trump's administration and our lovely secretary, Duffy, launched a new initiative to improve truckers' quality of the life on the road. And of course, we are going back to hours of service. So, what are they trying to improve? Well, let's go back and let's read this correctly. Well, first, they want to make sure that they are making hours of service, our logbook hours, our driving hours, not sleeping hours, more flexible. And these pilot programs were announced as a part of National Truck Driver Appreciation Week. So, guys, let's say thank you to all our drivers. We cannot do it without you because you guys bring in us food, clothes, and you make America actually survive. Without truckers, it would not be impossible. So let's continue. So, what was said? Of course, usually we go to the big speeches, big promises, like any politician. Well, they want to make sure that you guys again believe that something's gonna happen like this. So let's see. Well, truck drivers are the backbone of our economy. Well, we all know that you guys backbone of our economy, but somehow, let's be honest, most of the pro drivers getting treated not as a backbone of our economy, right? And I'm talking on my personal experience as an owner of trucking company, as a dispatcher, as a safety manager, and also as a ex-wife of the truck driver. I know how it goes. So guys, well, hopefully this statement is going to be the really true statement. So let's go back and let's read it loud and proudly. Truck drivers are the backbone of our economy, and we owe it to them to explore smarter, data-driven policies that make their job safer and more enjoyable. That's what our USA Department Transportation Secretary said, right? And all of you know that his name is Duffy. So let's continue. So what are they talking about? For some people who have no clue about trucking, this is probably gonna be boring. So you can skip and watch maybe cake baking or traveling. But who is in trucking? Let's continue watching. So first, let's go back and see what they're trying to implement. It's not there yet. Pay attention, it's not there yet. It's a pilot program. So let's see. Well, first, they want to make sure that if you are on your shift, and we all know that our shift is 14 hours, from those 14 hours, we can drive 11 hours, right? We now, hopefully, after this is going to be implemented, well, the driver can actually pause that shift, and it can be not less than 30 minutes and not more than 3 hours. So write it down. But again, guys, pay attention. It's not in place yet. What next is going to happen? Well, the program is going to collect the data. That's why they call it pilot program, because for them to go through rules, regulations, rulemaking, they need to collect data, right? In America, before anything drastic is changed, well, you have to go through all of the data first, correct? So public comments, drafting, rulemaking, and everything else. So what are they trying to propose to us? Let's go back to our basics and let's see what do we have now. So remember, when driver is starting his day, every driver, doesn't matter if you work for the huge mega carrier, doesn't matter if you only drive for your own company, doesn't matter if you are in Missouri, doesn't matter if you're in California, doesn't matter if you're in Florida, everybody has the same rules. You have 14 hours of shift, from which 11 hours can be used for driving. So remember, when we calculate the transit as a pro dispatcher, that's how we get to those approximately how many miles in a perfect circumstances, it depends which state you're going through, driver can actually cover per day. So we take 11 hours, we deduct in PTIs, we deduct in some fueling, we deduct in the 30 minutes break, and approximately we are saying the driver who can push every minute of his driving time, we are taking 10 hours and multiply them on an average 60 miles per hour. Some of you are going to say, what do you mean, Alex? I am driving 75. Again, we're talking about average. It depends where you're going through. Can you drive 75 through New York? Can you go in Chicago traffic 75? So we're talking about average mileage. So we take that 60 miles, multiply by 10 hours, in the perfect circumstances with good loading, unloading, and a driver who is really driving 600 miles. So when you talk to your friends who say, well, I drive every day 800 miles, 1,000 miles, sometimes I do 1,100 miles, are they lying to you? Well, they're probably not lying to you, but they are doing illegal driving. They are fixing the ELDs, they are still faking them, and that's what's happening. So let's go back to reality and let's continue. So after driver finishes his shift, he needs to go to sleep. And we have 3 rules. You have to sleep total 10 hours. You can sleep at the same time 10 hours without breaking. You cannot keep driving. So 10 hours. Or we had, a long time ago, we had 8 and 2 split, and probably 4 years, so maybe it's already 5 years, time flies. I believe it was in 2020 or 2021 when they added another split, 7 and 3. What does it mean? Again, guys, I'm explaining for brand new people, for new dispatchers, for new drivers. That means, let's say you go and you get loaded with your reefer. You go to Americold and you forgot to pre-cool your reefer. Now, even though you got there with your appointment time, it takes them longer to load you. Why? Because first they need to wait for your trailer to go down to minus 10 degrees, right? Whose mistake is that? Well, in my class, we actually take responsibility. Well, dispatcher is supposed to tell the driver to pre-cool for -10 degrees. So is that a miracle who is not a good shipper or receiver, or is that you and a dispatcher who did not do these steps? But here we are not blaming dispatchers or drivers. We actually going back to our president and the USA Department of Transportation and FMCSA and the Secretary of Transportation. So what do they want to give us? Well, they are saying, we gonna, guys, give you hopefully Christmas present, but not for this Christmas, guys. Don't get excited. It's not gonna be Christmas 2025. Probably we're gonna look for 2027 Christmas present. So what do they want to do? Well, they are saying, we're gonna add extra splits available. And they are talking. So they're going to keep 8 and 2. They're going to keep 7 and 3. And they're going to add 6 and 4 and 5 and 5. So how is it going to help you if you are a driver? Well, again, when we are talking about what? Longer loading, unloading, you will need to go off duty. And if they load you for 5 hours, well, this can go towards that 10 hours. After you got loaded, let's say you still have 4 hours on your shift or 4 hours on your driving, you drive. Now, how many hours you have to sleep? 5, and you satisfy that 10 hours. Or same, 6 and 4. Okay, so when is it starting? When is it happening? Because some of you told me, hey, Alex, if you're teaching everybody, you'd better Google that shit. And I'm telling you, I'm not Googling. I am simply going and getting official information as always. So first, remember, this has to go into the pilot programs. It's going to take some months. So how many people are going to participate? So let's look at this number. And when is this going to start? Well, it was announced on Monday, September 15th, 2025. But this program is going to start in early 2026. So probably realistically, we are looking at the mid of 2026. Well, how many trucks are going to participate? So look at this. Only 500 trucks are going to participate because they need to study. Is that really going to help? I am just curious. In those 500 trucks, are there going to be companies who still faking logbook every day? Well, probably not. Probably there's going to be companies who always go by the book. So when you really think about it, is that data going to really be efficient and really realistic? Well, probably not. Hopefully, we can call Secretary of Transportation and enlighten him on how many people are still faking that ELD. We even have the offices, right? We are supporting your ELD. So guys, again, you know me, I am direct. I'm not sitting here and sweet talking. I know the reality, and especially being in Chicago land. So lots of faking still going on. All those ELD providers still giving you option, because otherwise you are not signing up for their service. So when they get shut down, you go find another one. They change the name and they still giving you opportunity to go and change the status, move the driving and everything else. But here we are not talking about who is fake and who is not. We're talking about the reality. So let's see. Since it's only 500 trucks, well, we're going back to the question. Real timeline. So how long is it going to take? And let's look in statistics. Let's look into the history, because if you have been in trucking for more than 10 years, if you've been in trucking for more than 15 years, well, you know that usually takes months, and years. So, you know what? With all of this rulemaking, public notices, everything else, well, we probably gonna look at 15 to 2 years time frame. So as I said, we're gonna have a Christmas present probably in 2026. What else is our dear administration and the secretary talking about? Well, they are talking about parking problem, right? So what is the reality of this? Well, the reality of this, that, let's be realistic, when we talk about parking for new people, let's just say we have approximately 3 million semi-tractor trailers on the road. Approximately, we have 313,000 parking spots available nationwide. Do you see the big difference between those numbers? So I think the biggest problem right now, it's not even new split 5 and 5, 6 and 4, but it's actually creating that parking spots. So roughly one parking spot has to be awarded between 10 to 11 trucks. This is a bigger problem, right? Well, what else? How much does it cost to build one parking space in 2025? Well, in 2025, one parking space is cost $93,000. From all of those parking spaces available, let's go back, 313,000 parking spots available, only 40,000 actually are in a public rest areas. Everything else, this is a private truck stops. So if you guys have lots of money and you're looking how to make money, well, this is your business. You should open parking facilities. Okay. And of course, when we talk about all of this, we have to go to our sources. So I'm going to leave the link right here for people who heard about this, for people who wants to make sure they understand that this is a working process, right? So remember, we talk about rough estimates, and we are all thinking it's gonna happen in 2027. When we talk about any regulations, you guys remember, it's not just a signature of President Trump. It's not just a signature of the Secretary of State. It's a lots and lots of things that has to be done, right? So we all heard that they actually withdraw speed limiter rules, right? They also do a lot of modernizing online updates in the systems, how you're going to be registering for your US DOT. They're getting rid of MC numbers. They are increasing on safety and also fraud. So extra verifications are done. But all of this, you guys can find on official sites. Some of you, of course, did what? You guys waited till the last minute because you were trying to decide, am I signing up for dispatch training, or maybe I'll wait? And of course, usually the day we start, afternoon, I receive so many inquiries, oh, I cannot make the payment. Well, because this class is already started last Saturday and we are studying. Please do not wait. The next trucking freight dispatcher class is starting in October. Let me go here, guys. Again, sorry, because I have huge screens and sometimes it's hard. We go live. I don't record this, pre-record, cut it. I am how I am right now. I'm talking without preparation. So the next class is starting on October 25th. So my advice for you guys, sign up already, because I see the huge difference between the students who sign up 2-3 weeks prior to the class and students who sign up the last minute. Why? Because after registration, you guys receive at least 10-12 emails with PDFs, with guides, with Quizlets. You need to prepare. You have to rewatch so many videos. You have to start get used to terminology. You have to see what is a load board. For example, I am showing you the load board, right? So you have all the tools. Look, you have to go to the help center and you need to learn on your own. Well, how do I post the truck? Well, how do I delete the truck? Why? Because my classes are intense. I am not sitting there and saying, please, let's click here. Let's choose drive-in. Let's choose reefer. What size do we have? Guys, that's all for kindergarteners. You come to pro freight dispatch training. That means I need to teach you strong foundation on logistics, on trucking, on safety, on regulations, on how to negotiate. I don't have time to tell you we're going to choose drive-in 53 or 48. Yeah, I am going to mention this, but there's a lot of preparation prior to my training. That's why we are still #1 in the USA. Believe it or not, people coming back to us after all the trainings they take. People come back to us to catch up. They took our training 2-3 years ago and they still want to see what's new. They retake the classes. We have students from all over. Right now in my class, you're probably going to see tomorrow I post why people choose us. Well, we have people from Qatar. We have people from India. We have people from Pakistan. We have people from all over USA. Why? Because they've been watching us. We are consistent. We don't just appear when the trucking is great. We are here because we have a mission to change trucking for the better. Yes, I might not be blunt right now, but it's still me. That sassy, that direct Alex, who knows how to share the information, how to empower you. So that's why do not wait till the last minute. Make sure you register for people who are looking to learn about safety and compliance. Look at this. We already have students signing up for IFTA training. It's going to be on October 5th. And after that, we are going with our safety and compliance. For lucky people, I want to do experiment. Look at this. I want to see, because a lot of people say, well, but I am here in Chicagoland. Well, for lucky people right here, I am going to do in-person class in our luxury Schaumburg office. But again, you need to pre-register. You need to start preparation. So we're going to be doing this during the week because most of the people who want to start doing safety, their mom who were staying home, this is a new profession. So since kids already went to school, you can find that time, right? You can find from 10 till 2:30 a.m. 4 classes. It's going to take us 2 weeks because, again, I'm not going to do Monday to Friday to kill your brains. I'm going to be here. It's going to be in person. For some of you who loves the way I teach, well, register. If you are online person, then go ahead and register for online. For online, again, you can be anywhere. The date's kind of the same. We all starting with online IFTA. And then online safety is going to be on weekends, and a live one is going to be during the week. What else is good? Well, I have lots and lots of people asking me, well, Alex, can you help me do this and that? I am opening MC. Can you help me with a policy? Can you teach me how to do this? And again, guys, look at this. If you're really serious about your business, I do a lot of free advices on TikTok, on YouTube, but I'm also a business person. I have lots and lots of expertise. So if you need consultation, you can schedule consultation. We're going to see what time works for you and for me. And there you can ask all the questions. If you want to do it in person again, you have to purchase the consultation first. We're going to determine what time works for you and for me. And you can come to my office in Schaumburg and we can talk one-on-one. So any other things which happening, let's go see how is our market doing. So let's see trade lines. Is the market start paying a lot or not? And we're going to be done for today. So let's see, accept all the cookies. Let's scroll down. Our fuel is at 374. This is a national average. And let's see. Well, guys, let me make it a little bit bigger. All right, so you can see, maybe not that much. Okay, right here. So what do we see? The first one is a dry van. It's a national average. Since June till September, we're still at the same $2.02, $2, 2 cents, 2.05. And if we would go back till beginning of the year, it's still the same. Let's look at the flatbed, 250 to 249, 251, same. And the reefers, well, they're picking up a little bit in September. Why? Well, we have apples in Washington, right? We have onions, we have potatoes, but is that really a big change? No, no, and no. So if you looking to sign up for our classes, well, make sure you do so. Also, we appreciate when you like, comment, and ask the questions because we are on a mission to change trucking for the better. Also, if you go on our YouTube, you can become a member and support our free trainings because remember, we are doing lots of raffles and we give them to people who really deserve. So since holidays are coming, I think we're gonna do 1 or 2 free trainings for our October class. Always, if you already opening MC or USDOT, you can get 10% with our offer for Power That, also truck stop. So you can find it on our sites. What else? And of course, you can find us where on learndispatchtoday.com. Well, hopefully I answer all of your questions about this big mess about the split is already there. It's not there. And let's see who is watching us before I say bye. Okay. Can you explain new initiatives easy way? I think I actually explain in very easy way. So hopefully if you were watching, you figure out how to do it. Then we have truck and run. Okay. Hello, ma'am. You're right. I'm 65 euros, and by the end of the way, my average always is 57. So that means that in 10 hours, you average between 570 to 590 miles per day. Yes. Thank you for confirming that. Also, it depends where you're going. Because if you're going through Montana, Texas, let's say you go through New Mexico, of course, you can average a little bit more. But when you're in Midwest, when you go through big mega cities, you cannot average more than that. And it's going to decrease the time you can drive. So let's see. Okay, I'll see you, Alex, in October. Well, lucky to see you. Make sure do not wait till the last minute. And let's see, all good with people from those countries. But Alex, I saw you today on YouTube, a guy from Uzbekistan offering his service for 1%. That kills us, Alex. Well, is he offering dispatch service for 1%? Well, again, if he is living in Uzbekistan, he can afford to do it for 1%. Guys, remember, it's not about competition, it's about you, right? How much are you going to charge and what are you going to give back? It's about knowledge, it's about how good you are. Are you a pro? And of course, when people located outside of the country, well, their expenses are cheaper. But a lot of companies, USA companies, they want somebody who is here. They are willing to pay 5, 6, 7, 8% for dispatch. I am personally charging 8% for dispatch because I am here. Do I charge 10, 12? No, that would not be actually fair. People are willing to pay that. But if you go on your own, you should not pay 10, 12% for dispatch. But I have some students who found the carriers who are willing to do that. Again, this is a free market. Nobody can tell you how much you should charge. If you're willing to do it for free, go ahead, do it for free. When I am giving so many advices for free on YouTube, well, this is my choice. But when somebody's asking me constantly questions and emails and calls me, after a while, it's like, okay, dude, hello, you in business, you making money. Well, you're not just calling me to say hi. You want me to give you a plan. You want me to spend 45 minutes, 1 hour, empower you, make sure that you're not making mistake. Well, then you should also respect me as a professional and also understand that my time is valuable and it has to be compensated properly. So that's why in my class, we always going through this. You need to learn how to say no. You need to build your boundaries. But for you to have that confidence, you need to have a knowledge. You need to know what you are doing. Yesterday, I got a phone call from a driver who quit and he wants to be a dispatcher. And he said, oh, I know everything. I said, well, you probably know on the driver's side, so I would advise you to take classes. And he says, well, but I admire your confidence. Will you give me that confidence in a class? And what was my answer? I am going to give you enough knowledge. I'm going to teach you how to do it properly. So your confidence is going to grow by itself. But can I share with you my personality? Can I teach you my multitasking? No, you will need to polish those skills. So again, I will give you enough knowledge so you can become confident, right? So remember, guys, it's you, and you. And don't ever listen to anyone who can say, oh, it's impossible. Dispatcher's not needed. Dispatchers are actually needed even more right now. When the market is tough, pro dispatcher is needed 100 times more. If you've been watching me for all of these years, and we have few people who keep up with their content, with what they're doing, right? So that means they're still in trucking. That means they're changing trucking for the better. They are sharing information. But in reality, what happened to all those trucking gurus, all those advisors? Where are they? Because it was lots and lots of fakeness, right? And that's why, guys, I am teaching you always go to official sources. Because a lot of times when you sit and you watch YouTube, TikTok, and everything else, some people say it in so convincing way, or some people have so many followers that you think that this is absolute truth. Remember, you are the one who needs to go and find real resources and read for yourself. Well, hopefully all of you able to read. If your English is not as good yet, well, you can translate. Thank you to all the innovation, to Google Translate, to Chat GPT, to Googling that shit. Everybody can go exactly to sources. So we're gonna say goodbye to you guys because tomorrow I want to do live on the data. right? We're going to talk about how many people file in the bankruptcy in trucking, how many companies have a small fleet, how many dispatchers are out there. So please put like, put share, put comment if you really want to watch it and be part of this. And we appreciate everybody who puts questions while we go in live. And we are always here to empower, to share knowledge, and to build that confidence. Love you guys and see you tomorrow. For my students, keep learning, keep studying. Those 2 quizzes have to be done by Saturday. And I guess what? One more you're going to receive today. So, intense training, hands on. You cannot just listen to me. You have to be part of that process. Love you guys.